Welcome to this session on integration with Git. Let us say hi to Tom and Kim who are going to help us understand integration of Git in Katalon Studio. In this session we are going to see how do we add project to Git, how do we clone project from a repository, how do we commit, pull and push. We will also look at some useful tips. In this session Tom is going to create a remote repository and then he will create a Katalon Studio project and then he will clone the repository into Katalon Studio. And then Kim is going to clone the project created by Tom. She will make some changes and then finally she will push the changes to the repository. And both of them will merge their changes. Let us begin. And before we go to step 1, we have to enable Git into Katalon Studio. So let us go to our Katalon Studio and you can see this Git icon is disabled. So we will go to Preferences, Katalon, and inside this go to Git and then we have to enable Git integration, say apply and OK, and now you can see this Git icon is enabled. So now let us go to step 1 and we have to create a repository on GitHub. You can also use Bitbucket or GitLab or any other remote repository. So let us go to our browser and say GitHub, and I'm going to this very first option github.com, and here you can sign up or sign in if you already have an account. I have an account, so I'm going to sign in, and then let us go to this new and create a new repository, and I will say this is Katalon Git test. We can initialize it with a readme and create a repository. So now this repository is created, and now we have to create a Katalon Studio project. So let us go to our Katalon Studio and I'm going to new Katalon project and let us say Katalon Git test and say OK. So this project is created now, and step 3 is we have to now clone the remote repository into our Katalon Studio. So let us go here and let us go to Git and say clone project, and here we have to give the location of the project. So this location we will get from our GitHub. Click on this clone or download and copy this URL, and this is something we will give here, and you can give the username password for GitHub and say next, next and finish. And you can see this location will change, so it will save this project to a new location, and now we have cloned our remote repository. So now we have to check our remote repository. So you can see as of now we just have a readme file. So what we can do is we can go to now git and commit, and here you will get this option. You have to add all these changes or whatever changes you want to the staged area and then give any commit message, adding project, and then you can do a commit and push later, or you can do a commit and push at the same time. So I'm doing commit and push, and let us see if it pushes all my changes to the remote. And yes, it is done. Say OK. And now let us go and check the remote repository now. So now I will refresh this, and yes, you can see all my project has now come here, and we can also see there are 2 commits. If I click go here, you can see this is the commit I just did, adding project. So now we have added our project to the remote repository. Now Tom can make any changes in his project, and whenever he wants he can do a commit and push. So let us see, let us add a new test case. I'm going to add a test case and I will name it as test one by Tom and say OK. And now we can go to again git commit, and it will show you the changes. You can add these changes to the staging area and then say added test1 or any message and do a commit and push. Say OK. And now we can check our remote repository. So I will again refresh it, and you can see these test cases have come, and inside this we have this test1 added by Tom. Okay, now let us go to Kim. Now Kim has to clone the project created by Tom into her Katalon Studio. So let us go to Kim's system. So Kim is on Windows. Let us go to her Katalon Studio, and she has already enabled Git on her Katalon Studio, and she has to now do a Git clone. And for that she needs the URL again. So we have to give her the same URL of the repository, and here again she will give her username and password for GitHub and then say next and next and finish. And you can see this project has come here. You can also go to test cases, and you can see the test case created by Tom is now being reflected here on Kim's system. So now step 2 is she will add some of her changes, and then she will commit and push her changes to the remote repository. So let us go to Kim's system, and Kim is going to add another test case, and let us say this is test2 by Kim, and let us say OK. So this test case has come here, and now let us go to git commit, and again she will add all her changes and then do a give a message test2 edit and do a commit and push and say OK. And now let us check if Kim's changes have come on the remote repository or not. So I'm again going to the remote repository on GitHub, and I will refresh it. And now you can see if you go to the test cases, you can see test2 by Kim is being reflected here. So Kim has added her changes as well. And now Tom can pull the changes and see if there are any changes made by Kim or any other team members. So he will do a git pull. So again, let us go to Tom's system, and you can see as of now we have just one test case which was created by Tom. So he will go to git and he will say pull, and then he will say finish, and he can review all the changes and say OK. And then he can go to manage branches and check out branch, and he can check out the branch he wants. As of now we have only one branch, which is master, and say OK. And now you can see Kim's test case has also been come here. So this is how Tom will pull the changes, or any other team members can pull and push the changes, and then they can run and validate. So now Tom and Kim are ready with Git. So there is one useful tip that Kim wants to give you, that you can change the default location of your Git projects by going to preferences, team and Git. So you can go to your Katalon Studio, go to preferences, and then go to team and Git, and here you can change the default location of your project, and then there are other options as well that you can look into. So this is how Tom and Kim will integrate with Git in Katalon Studio.